Testing, testing. I'm going to show a little work. It's not within my script series, but I've been asked to do a little bit of work for ARA Jewelers. I'm very excited. I want to show what they do with the script that I sent them. I was just sending them as test script, and they managed to put it into this ring function, which I thought was amazing. I was just seeing if I could follow their template, and I would say if you're interested and you want to check out ARA Jewelers, Ralph Schroeder and Bernard Mueller, ARA Jeweler, arajewelerstudio.com. And contact them, and they've got a great thing going, and I hopefully can do some development for them, some of the first I've ever done. I generated a node, and believe me, the node I sent in didn't look this smooth and easy, but let's just jump in here and take a look at what it was making. It's the simplest node, my favorite script I like to write, which is basically a helix, and they gave me full control over that in the XY direction, YZ direction, the start of the line, the finish of the line, the uh, the amount of twist in the line and the compression of that line. So very nicely how they took my cluster. And of course, those clusters are all hidden at this point, but they're there for those that want to go in and take a look. And hopefully this will be up in their toolbar area. They've given me all the incredible tools, and they come in massive curve-based sets, surface sets, solid sets. I think there's a bunch of ARA. Yeah. And there's whole jewelry kits to make things. Like, just amazing what's coming out of that. So I would say if you're interested, check it out. There's a nominal fee for the package to get you started, and it's growing on Facebook. So ARA Jewelers, very exciting. The script I wrote, they just continued through and they put it into this form, which was great. They were able to bring in a profile start curve and end curve and change that up. So when they do that and throw it through my script, you get this pretty cool thing that you start playing with graph mappers. They really know how to work their clusters, and they keep things in a very uniform fashion, and then finish things off in the colors that they like to finish things with. So amazing to see the application and what you can do by just altering frames. You start to get into real funk associated with, obviously rings you're not going to put on your hand, but maybe designing another structure. But I love what they've ended up doing. I'm excited to see my script being used, sine, cosine. And I plan on doing more and more. In fact, I might actually do some scripts for these profile curves. I'm one that bases things hopefully in data and in number and in point and line, and use a lot of math and polynomials and trig. That's really what I'm into, and I'm starting to think I can do even more with machine learning and algorithms and computational and generative systems that I can kind of coexist with the program. Now, the other thing they do is some incredible stuff when it comes to building rings, sizing rings. They have their own nodes for a ring sizer, which is amazing off the shelf. And once again, they've applied my script to it, which I think is amazing. They just do a quick orientation of the script that I put in. And of course, you don't need the multiplier directions here because you've been dictated by the spring sizer. So in the end, my ring will fit onto that system. And then they'll plug it in through, and they've got some nice systems here for drawing out profile curves. And they've got their background set on here, so it's a little hard to grab right now. Let me just select edit. I'm just having a sucker right now, and you can see that you're getting your profile curves there, how you want to start and finish it. And then another set of profile curves here. So you can think about those ones that are actually brought in and manufactured through the Universal Profiler Maker node cluster, which is amazing. Then they're going to go off and take my ring and put that on that system. So it actually gets profiled to that, starts with that very cool design and ends with that design. And I'm just happy to be a part of this. I think it's actually fantastic what they're doing. And then they're putting that through a display color of what that would be as a ring. So that's a little different than the orientation you were seeing up here, because this is the one that's been put through the Universal Profiler, which is amazing. The two tools that feed into the start and profile curves of the lofting tool, which will run the open loft curve. And these are all off-the-shelf items. So they're not for the grasshopper user. They're for somebody who wants to gain hold of the parameters and set and interface with what can happen and design their own rings. So it really are tools and nodes for jewelers. And I'm 100% behind them. I think they're just fantastic in what they're doing. And I like to see the application of what I can do mathematically. And on a ring size that's very manageable in my mind, but infinite in its possibilities. Now what they also have is this incredible system of, you can see what's happening here. It's starting to make top, what a nice tool function. It's called Carbon Mesh Maker, pretty amazing. You've got the bezel, which comes after the bezel maker, and you've got the orientation of that to the bezel on top of the structure. So that makes total sense to me. And then bam, you've got it finished up with the right color and finished up with the colors there. So when you take this into a full view of what you want, you've got my ring that you can play with on the bottom of their bezel and their I don't want to butcher the name, on top of the gem that's up on top of it. And now you can go back to exactly what you were doing here and play with the sliders and see what you want to do at any stage of changing up where the ring is. So, like I said, I could gain control of this. And of course, I can bust the script because you don't know what you end up wanting to put on here. These are tools that are really a sense of gaining access to almost like modules or functions that are written in Node, but then totally visualized for somebody who wants to come here and see the whole structure. I think it's an amazing system of everything brought in there from the initial ring all the way down to the tools at the end on top and the ring sizer, which is actually on it. I have to go through. It's quite extensive note guide on it and what's happening, but I just think it's fantastic, and I'm going to keep going with them. I think I'm going to work on a double helix or a helix or a helix around a coil today, and that should be fun. So thanks very much for watching. I hope they like the video. I hope they don't mind me posting it, and if they want, I'll share it to ARA Jewelers, which is a closed site, and hopefully some of the other Grasshopper Rhino sites will like it. I'm going to keep going with Python and Rhino and Grasshopper and my other scripts. Thanks for watching.